this, reciprocity and interconnectedness, if you will, of all of these global networks, and how they've basically been used for decades, if not millennia, going all the way back to the beginning of time, as a way to facilitate this. First it's regional, then it's global, just growth, and that's where we're at right now. It's human trafficking, sex trafficking, drug trafficking, gun trafficking, you name it. There is a global trade for it, and going after a very key point in Central America or South America, like Maduro's Venezuela, is the nexus, I believe, of where Chinese influence is, and China is corrupt. If you guys didn't know that, China is a corrupt, or is run by a very corrupt party, the Communist Party. The Communist Party believes in bribery, believes in basically paying off officials, and this is how it has faded out to the mainstream, and that's what President Trump is cracking down on, because when we talk about the deep state, we're talking about an interconnectedness that many don't understand. President Trump did launch this major counter-narcotics operation just recently, but I believe these cartels, listen, we've been studying these people for quite some time. Don't ask me how I know that. I can tell you right now, my sources have been saying that this has been ongoing for quite some time. We've been studying the cartels, who they are, where they are, and we've basically been waiting for an opportunity to do exactly what we're doing right now. We've shut everything down, made it impossible for them to move, and now we're going to take them out one by one by one. And if you don't believe me, that's fine. I'm just here to tell you what I think and what I'm hearing. But again, the U.S. will increase its military presence in the Caribbean. Now, this is from April 1st. We're talking about drug trafficking funding Maduro. Well, Maduro's regime is a socialist communist regime closely tied and backed by the Chinese communists and the Russians. So you have to understand what we're fighting here is something much bigger. President Trump has been forced into a position to fight all of these cartels, these global cartels, globalist cabal of Satanists, and then also you have foreign state actors, and then you also have other non-state actors. It's a very complex web that's weaved together, and it goes from everything, like I said, from drugs to guns to human trafficking and the rest. This is really what we're combating on a global scale. So when you see this virus on the news every day, what you're not seeing, what they're not telling you, what they're not showing you is that we are at war. As President Trump has said, he's a wartime president. We're fighting a hidden enemy. The hidden enemy is the cartels. You're not a state actor. It's not like going to war against a state like another country, or going to war against like terrorism. It's going to war against an underground hidden society that is engaged in this global black market of trade, illicit trade, that has been able to infiltrate pretty much all facets of government. That's why you see people who are resigning. That's why you see people who have to, mysteriously step down for no real reasons. And I'm not saying that's in every case, but I'm saying in a lot of cases that was what we've been seeing over the years. Now they've finally, in my opinion, been able to get something major off against the United States. Because think about it, these global organizations of traffickers and smugglers, they don't want to be caught. So any opportunity they have to basically stop it all, to shut us down, to put us out of business, they're going to take. If you don't think that's related to what's happening with this coronavirus, again, I have a bridge to say. So that's where that's my opinion. I'm just giving it to you, I'm putting it out there. I hope you guys do your own research, but the State Department's even saying right now, amidst this entire operation, if you will, that you can't leave, or you can leave, but you are going to want to try to come home, I should say, if you can now, because they may not be available. I'm telling everyone, look, we're shutting it down. We're shutting down the global trade of all of it because they've hidden a lot of this in plain sight. I mean, human traffickers sometimes, in some cases, will board off the plane with their victims. And because a lot of these victims are brainwashed, manipulated, threatened. You know, they're there because their families are being held hostage, or they're there because they've been brainwashed and abused in such a way. You have to understand that shutting that down and going after it, and that's just one facet of it. That doesn't count the drugs. It doesn't count the guns and the death that is brought by this school. So maybe I'm just getting a little too much into it, but I want to go back and read all the posts where talked about trafficking. Remember this. Here, what does money buy in November 2017? Where or why are the events in Saudi Arabia relevant to the above? Who is the financial backer for human trafficking? Who is the broker for underage sex? Think Saudi Arabia. How does Facebook and Instagram play a role in the capture? Think Taken. What does he mean when he says think Taken? He means that scene in Taken where you have all these people from around the world on the internet bidding on a woman who was kidnapped. A young woman who was just kidnapped out of college in the middle of a major city. And then all of a sudden she's on a yacht and there's an auction between a bunch of sick, rich people from different countries, sheikhs and top oligarchs and top corporate leaders, you know, bidding millions or hundreds of thousands of millions of dollars for the opportunity to take this person. You think that it's all fantasy. You think that these movies get these ideas from nowhere? Because why do select senior political officials have foundations and institutes? The Clinton Foundation, the Kane Foundation. Maybe we should do a little more digging on those and understand who was backing it, who were the players. That's what people are forgetting. What is money laundering? What does money buy? Why is this relevant? Again, it goes back to the lesson in Saudi Arabia, the connections to the death penalty. We'll talk about senior political officials who may be tied to this. You guys have to understand the gravity of what we're talking about. Going to the next post where Q mentions it, he says, here, what would happen if texts originating from an FBI agent, several internals, discussed the assassination possibility of the President of the United States or members of his family? So this is what Q has told us in the past is possibly the evil that we're up against, right? And Q even says in that post, we haven't even started the drops regarding human trafficking and sacrifices yet. And this is going back to January of 2018. And yes, we did get those posts coming out late. Remember what became the ISIS members here and Bakr al-Baghdadi. Oh yeah, no big deal that they're meeting over there in Syria. Don't pay any attention to that, right? Think about what you were telling us for quite some time, how the email drops. We talked about this ad nauseum. What was being mentioned in Tony Podesta's emails when he was talking about wet work? How did they possibly secretly communicate using Google? Instead of sending emails over the internet, you go in and you write a draft, and then you save that draft, and then you share the password and the account information with other people, and then they can go and look at the drafts, trying to avoid the possible intel collection against them. What they don't understand is that every keystroke is safe. But that is, it's exactly what we're up against. They were sharing ICE border patrol classified intel schedules to safeguard themselves for their trafficking operations. This is what Q has already told us in the past was happening, possibly. So remember, that's what we're up against here, sharing of classified intel from the FBI to safeguard their private operations. This is the stuff that we're going after, guys. You have to understand this is connected. Muslim Brotherhood, cross-coordination with UK assets, pro in SIS in UK intelligence. I wonder how this is all connected. If you don't understand a Ukrainian president, right? This is exactly how it all connects together. And of course, Edward Snowden making the PRISM, X-Keyscore, and all these different classified data collection tools, surveillance tools that were being used by the NSA to track these people. That's what Admiral Rogers was putting together. That's what Flynn tried to blow the whistle on. That's what we have been in a fight against for 3 years, guys. I'm just telling you all this to go and look back at the information we already have been given. We have so much more than we know that makes everything that's happening today make that much more sense, in my opinion. So I'm putting it out there for you guys to look at, and you know, all of these other companies that have been involved in covering up for this and allowing it to happen.